Happy Friday morning, Boilers. It's October 20th, and I'm Bella Warren.
And I'm Keenan Taylor. Here's a look at this week's top stories from around the globe. As the war intensifies between Israel forces and Hamas, President Joe Biden delivered primetime remarks Thursday evening pledging support for Israel and Ukraine and trying to convince Americans why millions of dollars in aid to both countries is crucial.
We need to warn you, some of the images and subject matter in this video on the war in the Middle East are extremely graphic and may be hard to hear or see. Cole Higgins has the latest.
President Joe Biden addressing the nation from the Oval Office for just the second time in his presidency.
American alliances are what keep us, America, safe. American values are what make us a partner that other nations want to work with. To put all that at risk if we walk away from Ukraine, if we turn our backs on Israel, it's just not worth it.
Biden's appeal to Americans to support two allies in their two wars coming one day after his trip to Israel. As airstrikes on Gaza continue in the Israel-Hamas war, the United Nations warning of increasingly dire conditions in Gaza as access to water and food is limited.
We have been here for 2 days trying to get water and there is no gas. For the sake of God, have mercy on us.
Perhaps an ounce of hope as a convoy of trucks full of food, water, and gas wait in Egypt at the Rafah border crossing, prepared to enter Gaza and deliver critical aid as soon as allowed.
And of course, if Rafah Gate is open to allow humanitarian aid to go in, we will be trying to get out the American citizens who are in Gaza who want to leave.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowing to allow aid to enter Gaza via Egypt, but not through his own country until Hamas releases all hostages.
We cannot give up on peace. We cannot give up on a two-state solution. Israel and Palestinians equally deserve to live in safety, dignity, and peace.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
The U.S. Senate passed a resolution Thursday affirming support for Israel and the country's right to self-defense and condemning Hamas attacks on civilians. Today, the White House is expected to request north of $100 billion from Congress to deliver aid and resources to Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and the U.S. border with Mexico.
And back here in Indiana, the man accused of killing 2 young teenage girls in Delphi is now without legal representation. One of Richard Allen's 2 lawyers unexpectedly asked the judge in the case to withdraw from it Thursday. Judge Frances Gull granted the request and said she expects Allen's other lawyer to do the same. She will now reach out to public defenders to assign new counsel for Allen. He was arrested a year ago after a 5.5-year search. Allen is accused of killing 14-year-old Libby German and 13-year-old Abby Williams in 2017. The girls were found dead a day after they went for a hike during a day off from school. It's expecting to be a cool weekend ahead on the planner. Fast Track's Julia Prickett joins us in the studio to talk more about it. Hey, Julia, do I need to pack an umbrella?
Thankfully, you don't need to pack an umbrella. This morning you may have woken up or commuted to work or classes with some isolated showers and maybe a few sprinkles, but overall today on Purdue's campus, it's going to be a gloomy day. Here in West Lafayette, high at 58 degrees with a low of 47, with wind speeds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 20. Chances of rain about 10% today. For the most part in the morning, you may have seen a few sprinkles, but throughout the rest of the day, it's going to be a gloomy day overall. Temperatures right now, 10 a.m., 52 degrees, 11 mile per hour winds coming out from the northwest. We'll consistently see those winds all day long. By 3 p.m. our high for the day, 58 degrees, and into the overnight hours will quickly decrease in temperatures. Pretty sustained winds for the most part, but overall it's going to be a chilly day. So this evening, if you are headed out to maybe to the bars or to hang out with some friends, I highly recommend packing a jacket. Now back over to the anchor desk to Keenan and Bella.
Thank you, Julia. Taking a look at the Hill this morning, Representative Jim Jordan is currently holding a press conference this morning, hours before his expected 3rd attempt to win the role of Speaker of the House. The Republican from Ohio spent much of Thursday trying to coax holdouts to support his bid, but numerous members of the GOP are already talking about other options. Representative Jordan is hoping the 3rd time will be a charm, but some Republicans think today's vote for Speaker of the House will be Jordan's 3rd strike. The House has been without a speaker for more than 2 weeks after the historic ouster of Representative Kevin McCarthy. Some in the House, including McCarthy, support boosting interim Speaker Patrick McHenry's power in the meantime. Some House Republicans, include Representative Jim Banks of Indiana, are against the idea of giving McHenry more power, saying that would
I wanted somebody that could work with all sides, and McHenry is ideal for all that. If you watch him, he's not seeking to be Speaker. He believes in the continuity of government. He's chairman of a substantial committee. He understands the working. He's been here a number of years, so he understands how Congress works. He has respect on both sides of the aisle. He could carry out the job.
Some House Republicans, including Representative Jim Banks of Indiana, are against the idea of giving McHenry more power, saying that would be a, quote, giant betrayal to GOP voters.
Staying on Capitol Hill, thousands of federal firefighters could face a drastic pay cut in the coming weeks, and some fear that could lead to many walking off the job. Last year, federal wildland firefighters received a temporary pay bump of either $20,000 a year or 50% of their base salary, whichever was lower. But now, that temporary settlement is estimated to run out around the beginning of next month unless Congress makes the pay rise permanent. The pending pay cuts come at a time when wildfires have become more destructive in recent years as a result of climate change. A Colorado congressman has introduced bipartisan legislation that would make the payment raise permanent. However, the legislation is currently stalled in the House, which is still without a speaker. The National Federation of Federal Employees has estimated that 30 to 50% of the workforce could resign if the pay increase comes to an end.
Controversial radio show host Alex Jones still has to pay more than $1 billion to families of the Sandy Hook shooting. According to the New York Times, a judge ruled Thursday that the right-wing talk show host can't use his Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing to evade paying that debt. Last year, the families of people killed in the elementary school shooting were awarded $1.4 billion in defamation lawsuits against Jones. The case was over comments he made saying the mass shooting was staged and the families and first responders were crisis actors. During the trials, his company, InfoWars, declared bankruptcy. Jones later declared personal bankruptcy as well.
Up next, Best Buy has recently announced it will stop selling physical DVDs.
When the retailers plan to make the change coming up right after this quick break.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. In not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec Climbing Wall.
Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then!
Welcome back to Fast Track Live. This is meteorologist Julia Prickett with your forecast for today. West Lafayette currently pretty gloomy overall, high of 58 degrees with a low of 47. Wind speeds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 20. Chances of rain about 10% this morning. You may have woken up to a little bit of sprinkles, maybe commuting to class or to work, but overall no threat of rain chances today. Throughout the rest of the day today, we'll increase in temperatures overall, but currently 10 a.m., 52 degrees being our high. Pretty consistent wind speeds for the next few hours overall. We'll hit our high of the day of 58 degrees by 3 p.m. and into our overnight hours will quickly decrease, being in the mid-40s by midnight tonight. So if you do have plans to head out for the evening, make sure to pack a jacket to keep yourself warm. Taking a look at our weekend outlook again for Friday, we're seeing 58 degrees being our high. Overall, a breezy day. Now for Saturday, we'll see an increase in some temperatures, 63 degrees being our high with a low of 42. Mostly cloudy skies for the most part. And for Sunday, we'll see a little bit more sunshine, but a decrease in some temperatures, 56 degrees being our high with a low of 37. Now, throughout the national forecast and overall in the United States, we're seeing such a drastic span of temperatures overall. Here in the Midwest, we're staying mainly in the upper 50s, lower 60s, but as we make our way out west, look how hot it gets very quickly. Already 95 out in San Antonio in Texas, 104 in Phoenix, but as we head out to the East Coast again, mainly staying in the mid 60s and upper 70s for the most part. So we do see this dome of heat that will expand for next week, bringing us a little bit of increase in temperatures for next week. So overall, take advantage of the nice weather while we have it. So let's take a look and recap again. So for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, pretty consistent temperatures across the board, 63 being our high for Saturday, 56 for Sunday. Now for Monday and Tuesday, there's some possible frost chances with the lows being in the mid-30s overall, 37 for Sunday, 33 for Monday, so you may be waking up with some frost, so give yourself some extra time in the morning if you're commuting to work or heading out to classes. Now for Tuesday, a little bit of a better story, increase in temperatures, 72 degrees being our high, and pretty consistent for Wednesday and Thursday, 74 being our high for Wednesday, and 75 being our high for Thursday. Our next best chance of rain is Thursday, and overall take advantage of the nice temperatures while we still have them for the end of October and early November. Now back to the anchor desk with Bella and Keenan.
Thank you, Julia. More than 64,000 Americans will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer this year, according to estimates from the American Cancer Society. And many times the disease isn't diagnosed until it's too late.
But researchers are looking into how artificial intelligence could help with early detection. In Health Minute, Mandy Gather has a look at the research and the hope it's bringing for the future.
It's expected to become the second leading cause of cancer death in the U.S. by 2030, and many times pancreatic cancer is a silent killer.
Patients typically present at a stage where the cancer has really won the battle, so to speak.
Dr. Ajit Goenka with Mayo Clinic says nearly 70% of patients with pancreatic cancer face death within the first year of diagnosis. That's why early detection is critical, but he says many times small pancreatic cancers aren't detected on CT scans until it's advanced to an incurable stage.
That effectively makes imaging as the final frontier in our quest for early cancer detection.
Goenka and other researchers used imaging data sets from past CT scans of those diagnosed with pancreatic cancer to create an artificial intelligence model that they hope will help aid in early detection of small tumors that are currently difficult to detect.
We are very happy with what we have achieved so far, but we are also mindful of the fact that we still have a lot of work remaining to be done.
The models are being tested, and Goenka says eventually they'd like to get to a point where they can present their technology for review by the FDA.
We are prepared to fight a long battle to be able to overcome early detection of pancreas cancer.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
While the researchers are focused on early detection of pancreatic cancer, they also have a goal to improve outcomes for other diseases like diabetes with this AI model as well.
And turning over to the business world, Best Buy is officially ending sales of DVDs and Blu-ray discs starting in the new year. The consumer electronics retailer will continue to sell the discs throughout the 2023 holiday shopping season online and in stores. A Best Buy spokesperson told Variety that making this change will provide more space in its retail store to bring customers new and innovative technology. And the chain said, the way Americans watch movies and TV has drastically changed. Best Buy's move will leave Walmart, Amazon, and Target as the top retailers in the United States selling DVDs and Blu-ray discs. U.S. physical media revenue in the first half of 2023 dropped to $754 million compared with a little over $1 billion in the year earlier period. That's according to data from the Digital Entertainment Group.
Rite Aid filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on Sunday. This move comes in the aftermath of legal battles where Rite Aid is accused of filling opioid prescriptions unlawfully. The bankruptcy didn't come as a surprise. On Thursday, Rite Aid filed a notice to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, saying it wouldn't be able to file its latest quarterly financial report. Company officials say they plan to shut down some of its stores and sell off others. Rite Aid says it secured $3.5 billion from lenders to help keep the company running during the bankruptcy process.
And oil prices rose again Monday amid escalating tensions in the Middle East. International benchmark Brent crude futures rose as high as $91.21 a barrel in Asian hours on Monday. That is up slightly from Friday's settlement price of $90.89. The U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate briefly rose to $87.98. That is compared to Friday's closing price of $87.68. Some analysts expect oil prices to hit $100 a barrel due to the growing risk of regional escalation.
The Internal Revenue Service is moving ahead with a plan to build its own free tax filing program. Direct File is a pilot version that will be available to some taxpayers in 13 states next year. Eventually, the IRS tax filing system could serve as an alternative to private tax preparation companies like H&R Block and TurboTax. But for now, the online pilot program will be very limited in scope. The IRS anticipates that at least several 100,000 taxpayers will decide to participate in the program. It will help the IRS determine whether it's feasible to offer a government-run tax filing system to more taxpayers in the future.
Check in after the break to see what NBA legends have been up to. One Boilermaker that may get his big break in the NFL, and a historic charity game, plus more. That's all coming up right after this quick timeout.
What does it take to be a Purdue tour guide? You've got to know your history. You have to know your facts. You've got to have that Purdue spirit.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
I mean, every year is different, but it hasn't changed that much. Our league is just ominous, and you better lace them up tight and be ready to play every night. If not, you're going to get beat.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak, and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or do you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the co-rec climbing wall.
Welcome to Fast Track Live Sports. I'm John Waterworth. Let's get right into this week's stories. Iowa set a major record for the highest attendance for a women's basketball game in history last week, shattering the previous record by 26,000 people. 55,000 fans filled Kinnick Stadium on the 15th to see the Hawkeyes and Caitlin Clark face off against DePaul in a charity game for a neighboring children's hospital. Due to the proximity and height of the hospital, people were able to watch the game as well. And the Hawkeyes put on a show for the adjacent children's hospital. The game was the first women's basketball game to play outside in a football stadium, and the Hawkeyes won 94-72. The game raised $250,000 for the children's hospital and set an early tone for Hawkeyes women's basketball season. The official women's basketball season starts November 6th, and I am personally looking forward to seeing both Iowa and Purdue on the court. Two NBA legends, Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, never played together. But now, they're teaming up to help Reebok become a leading name in the sports world. The shoe company named O'Neal president of basketball. Iverson will serve as vice president. Reebok is trying to rebuild its reputation in team sports after it severed ties with Adidas. Authentic Brand Group bought Reebok for nearly $2.5 billion last year and have plans to get the company back in the game. Company executives say they plan to fully relaunch its basketball division by 2025. Both O'Neal and Iverson had previous ties to Reebok when they were players. Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo was injured last week in their game against the Patriots. The injury happened in the second quarter of the matchup. Garoppolo was taken to the hospital due to perceived internal issues. However, Garoppolo has made great progress and he's listed as only questionable for the next game. Garoppolo's injury could mean playing time for the former Purdue quarterback Aiden O'Connell. AOC started a game for the Raiders earlier this year, but he did not replace the injured Garoppolo in this game. The Raiders elected to play veteran QB Brian Hoyer, who led the Raiders to a 21-17 victory over the Patriots. It will be interesting to see who the Raiders elect to start under center next week. The Las Vegas Aces have emerged as the champions of the 2023 WNBA Finals. The Aces defeated the New York Liberty in a close call finish with a score of 70-69. This is the team's second consecutive title, making them the first team to achieve this feat since the Los Angeles Sparks in the 2001-2002 season. Even without guard Chelsea Gray and center Kaya Stokes, Aja Wilson, the Aces forward, put up an impressive performance with a game-high 24 points and 16 rebounds. Her outstanding performance earned her the WNBA Finals MVP title. The game was not without its share of suspense. With just 8.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter and down by 1 point, Liberty guard Courtney Vandersloot had a chance to send the series back to Las Vegas with a buzzer beater and missed. It was an interesting season, and we will have to see if the Aces can go for 3 in a row. That's all for sports. Stay tuned. Taylor Swift's concert in theaters is going well in the box office. Fast Track's Anna Kudo will show us the numbers coming up right after this quick break.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
Taylor Swift fans turned out in force this weekend for the film version of her Eras Tour. David Daniel has a look at the movie's surprising path to theaters.
Welcome to the Eras Tour!
Taylor Swift's late August announcement that a film of her Eras Tour would hit theaters took everyone by surprise.
This was completely out of nowhere, it seems. A dream come true and music to the ears of theater owners.
Box office analyst Paul Dergarabedian says fans immediately began buying advance tickets like it was, well, a Taylor Swift tour.
They had pre-sales that were reported to be early on within the first 24 hours at about $29 million.
Multiple theater chains are reporting record pre-sales. That made Friday the 13th a scary release date for other studio films.
Very notably, The Exorcist Believer, which was set for that Friday the 13th, appropriately enough, they had to move back to the 6th.
Start over, start fresh, create the new. That's what the Renaissance is about.
Eras isn't the only major music tour headed to theaters. Renaissance, a film by Beyoncé, chronicling the tour that drew 2.7 million fans, figures to bring more to theaters when it opens December 1st.
I think we're going to see a renaissance, if you will, in the whole genre of concert films and music in theaters.
It's going to be called the Eras Tour. See you there.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's a wrap for this live edition of Fast Track News. I'm Anna Kudo, and from all of us here in the Fast Track studio, have a great weekend and see you next time.